Okay, everybody, now it's time for my birthday pickups. Uh, and just to kind of funny, she wasn't gonna give me a Dreamcast for my birthday, so I sat around with all those games, and in the last video, nothing to play. But let me show you the one thing I talked about that she traded that Dreamcast controller that I got at the pawn shop for. It is awesome because I've never had one of these, and that would be none other than the Super Advantage. Which, ironically, look at it, looks a lot like the Super Nintendo system itself. So it's really cool to have this. I was so incredibly surprised and psyched when I saw this. So now when I play my Super Nintendo games, I can play on this awesome controller. So let's get to, of course, the reason I got all these games. And that'd be none other than the Dreamcast. Ironically enough, again, I didn't really dig very deep into the games library of the system. I think, like a lot of people at the time, due to all the, all the situation with Sega, so much, it just came out at the wrong time, and it just did, PlayStation stuff buried it, so unfortunately. But so not only did I get that, here's what's funny. In this thing she got, it came with the microphone. Of course, you need this microphone for Seaman, which the game's not here, but it's cool that I have the microphone in case I ever get that game. And it had 2 Tremor packs. Let's see. Came with 2 gray controllers, had a blue controller, and it had a black controller with it. And of course, all in 4 VMUs. Along with all the hookup stuff, so that's all really cool. So that's cool, so I can't wait to actually play the Dreamcast. Now, I get all this stuff put back in the box. Now, let's get to the games. So I mentioned this first one, Cyber Troopers Virtual On was Arturo Tangram. Never actually played the Virtual On series, but it looks really cool. So I really, honestly, this looks cool. So I can't wait to give this game an actual shot, see what it's like. Next one is, again, never heard of it, still sealed and never been opened, and that is Soul Fighters. It's a 3D fantasy combat game, so it'll be interesting to see what this is like. And this cover is just cool. Again, Fur Fighters, the whole holographic cover kind of thing going on. So it looks like a good old, 3D shooter. So it'll be interesting to try that out. Choco Rocket. Expendable. Next up is Slave Zero, 3D action game. Ooga Booga, looks like a funny little colorful game, just to try it out. They're from Acclaim, back when they were doing the comic book games. Shadow Man, I actually read this comic book when it was out, so see what the game is actually like. The Ring, Terror's Realm, survival horror game. I never knew this game was around. Alien Front Online, which has real-time voice chat, which doesn't mean anything because, can't play it online. Very interesting to play this one. Another game in that horror vein, Carrier. Or Centipede. For some more good old racing games, Speed Devils. Actually, this game looks pretty cool, so I can't wait to try this one out. The next one I most definitely am psyched about, and I can't wait. I'm playing on Dreamcast. That's Hydro Thunder. I love those water racing games, so I can't wait to play this one. It's really cool. Of course, I already mentioned the Japanese version of this, Blue Stinger. Again, it's cool to have both, so I can play one and then try to see what the other, see if the other one's different, with the intro and how it plays. Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. Okay, so I'll do some bicycle stuff. Then Revolt, another racing game. Can't have enough racing games. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which I think now I own this on 3 different systems now. PlayStation 2. I think I own this on the GameCube also. I like this game a lot. What is this? Trick Style? Which has VMU mini games. And then 18-wheeler was an 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker, which I've played a little bit of this before. And then another racer by Midway, 4-Wheel Thunder. So it'll be interesting how this one plays. Now, get those out of the way. This kind of reminds me of Roller Coaster Tycoon. Coaster Works, build the ride of your life. Basically just building roller coasters. Chicken Run. If that were enough tie-ins for you, how about South Park Chef Love Shack? I've never played. It's been interesting to play this game, see what it's like. Then I have this on the N64. My wife loves this game a lot. Wettrix Plus. I have the original Wettrix on the N64. But just to see how what they've done to make how the game looks and if they've done anything different. I own Vigilante 8. This is Vigilante 8 Second Offense. Good old car combat. Then for sports fans, NHL 2K. Nobody cares about the web browser. And then NBA 2K. NBA 2K1. I do like to get sport games in years because then I can go, it's cool to see how the games have changed over the years. Obviously the last couple years, like Madden, hasn't changed too much, but then NFL 2K. This is the one I originally had on my Dreamcast. Cool to go back and play it again. Fighting Force 2. Interesting to play this one. Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge. I've never played the modern Frogger, I've only played the old version. And I've never played, you know, Grand Theft Auto 3 was the first Grand Theft Auto I ever played. So it's interesting to play Grand Theft Auto 2. See what this game is like. I didn't even know there was a Nightmare Creatures 2. I knew there was one. So. Then the classic Dino Crisis. And for some fighting fun, Dead or Alive 2. Virtual Fighter 3rd. Who doesn't like Virtual Fighter? And this is one I never played. Plasma Sword, Nightmare of Blitzstein. Never played this game, so I'll have to try it out. World Series Baseball 2K2. NFL 2K2. Now this last thing I got, I don't actually understand what this is. It's Bleemcast for the Dreamcast. Bleemcast for Metal Gear Solid, and it shows the screen things. So I don't know whether this actually runs the original Metal Gear Solid on Dreamcast or what, but I don't know what it's supposed to do. But anyway, I'll have to find out about that. So guys, that's all that I got for my birthday. I mean, seriously, just a massive amount of games to play. You know, when you get a new system, you want a couple of games, but to get this many games to start off with my Dreamcast, it will be a system I'll be playing for a while. So that's all my pickups, guys. So hopefully talk to you guys soon.